kitty cats, it's Shelby. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in for another video. In today's video, you guys, we have to talk about Ethan Klein. He has started a little bit of a war with James Charles. You know, Ethan Klein is never afraid to speak his mind on what he thinks, and he's coming for James Charles. He seems to think that James Charles is behind, or James Charles stands, or behind some of the things going on with his TikTok. And also, he's a little bit like disappointed with literally anybody who decides to associate themselves with James Charles. I talked about association and being associated with James Charles in a video that I did about Manny MUA and James Charles recently. And I kind of have similar viewpoints to Ethan Klein in general, to people that do choose to support James Charles. Although I was very, very conflicted when it came to Manny MUA because I really do like Manny MUA. Anyway, you guys, I'm getting a little off topic already, but if you want to hear more about that drama with Ethan and James Charles, then make sure that you keep on watching. Recently was on one of his podcasts with Hila. I believe that's the After Dark podcast that they do, and he started talking about James Charles being in this collaboration video that another YouTuber did where they were like reenacting Squid Games or whatever. By the way, who has seen Squid Games? If you've seen Squid Games, leave a little squid emoji in the comment section down below. I freaking loved Squid Games. I thought it was like literally one of the best produced series on Netflix, and it's actually the most watched series on Netflix ever. So I'm not shocked that these influencers are hopping on the trend of Squid Game and reenacting like the games and stuff and all of that. However, anyway, having James Charles as a part of anything that you're trying to do these days is, I'm sorry, you guys, just not a good look. James Charles is... we all know the issues that James Charles has, and he has not owned up to them, not apologized to them, not done any work on himself, at least what it seems like to us on the outside looking in. And James Charles really just gets on my nerves with that kind of stuff. Like, anyway, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and roll what Ethan had to say about James Charles and the people that were deciding to collaborate with James Charles. Roll it.
They're still working with James Charles. I don't fucking get this.
Right.
I don't get it. Why are people working with James Charles? Why? That's like going and doing a collab with R. Kelly at this point. I mean, maybe a little less bad, but
oh no!
What's the difference? Honestly, how can you put James Charles in your video, you sick? You really don't care? All these people, FaZe Rug, what's up, dude? You don't care that this guy's preying on kids on Snapchat?
FaZe Rug pull.
I think they just don't want to believe it, probably. They probably
But
think
why
like...
even take the chance then? That, and also, it seems like to me like someone like James Charles, who's a fan, or someone, he has a fan there who's just watching my account like a hawk that could just bot me whenever I post a video. That's like, even...
You know, I don't doubt it. I genuinely don't doubt it, but that would be somebody even higher up that could possibly do that, who's, you know, actually looking at your account. Because like, hypothetically, I thought, let's just hypothetically say Trisha was like, went and reported your video. It wouldn't even make sense, because wouldn't she just, you know, go report that entire account? Because that account just puts her on blast. So I don't think it's necessarily anybody specific, because if it's going down within 10 minutes, I highly doubt it's just regular users reporting you.
So he is really bringing up James Charles' name a lot, and he chose to talk about this segment with this, I don't know who the heck the YouTuber was that decided to collab with James Charles and have that on his channel, girl. But that is not a good look. I'm sorry. I mean, Ethan is right. Like, what are you thinking deciding to collaborate with James Charles, who's admitted to messaging underage kids on Snapchat? I have to be careful with what I say about this, because every time I start talking about James Charles and what's going on with him, I get demonetized. And I'm not saying any of the words that should get me demonetized on the subject, but I'm still getting demonetized. I don't know if it's because I don't know if it's a certain groups of words I'm putting together. I really don't know, but it's quite frustrating. I literally redid an entire video and like silenced out every single possible word I thought could possibly trick the system into getting demonetized, and I still got demonetized on my last James Charles video when I was talking about how creepy he was. Literally, I don't know. I mean, maybe James, I don't know. It's just, when it comes to these big creators, let me just first off say I am a little bit of a conspiracy theorist, and I do sometimes get that way. I've always been that way, and I'm not proud of it in some points of my life in certain areas, but it's just the way that I think. I mean, I have wondered at sometimes, does YouTube look out for these larger creators like James Charles and stuff, and when people do start talking negatively about them, do they target those channels, demonetize those videos as an effort to get them to stop? I don't know. It just seems really, really weird to me that James Charles is still just alive and kicking on YouTube. Now, I will say that a lot of the adult audience that used to watch him, like I used to watch him, and other adults that used to watch James Charles, we are kind of done with James Charles. A lot of them, at least the educated ones, are done with James Charles, and we're not supporting that anymore. The thing about it is James Charles has so many children and teenagers and people whose minds are not developed enough to understand the severity of what the things that he has done is wrong. They still watch James Charles and support him. And when you have that many children, I mean, a child's view is just as valuable on the YouTube algorithm as an adult's view. And so it's still pushing out his videos. He still has millions of fans watching him that are all underage. And to be honest, that's scary. The fact that James Charles has so many like young people following him and idolizing him and all of that, and knowing the things that he does on these other social media apps, Snapchat and stuff, talking to them, is really, really, really scary and dangerous. I think at this point, as an influencer, if you decide to collaborate with James Charles on a video is going to get as much attention as a Squid Game video, I think that you are just completely ignoring and saying that you do not care about the allegations that came out against him. Like Hila said, maybe you don't want to believe it. First of all, can we just acknowledge how cute Hila is when she just kind of lets Ethan kind of just go off, and she's like, you're getting yourself into a lot of drama, but she just kind of smirks on the side there. Isn't that so cute? There's just something about Hila. She is like queen to me. She just designs the cutest clothes, and she's just so nonchalant, doesn't give an F about anything. She's just a really cool chick. I just love Hila. But I mean, I don't know, you guys. Ethan knew what he was doing when he was calling out James Charles like this. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it, where I don't necessarily, I think he has every right to call out Trisha Paytas the way that he does. I think Ethan has every right to call out Trisha Paytas because of the things that Trisha Paytas has done to Ethan. I think that choosing to call out somebody like James Charles is definitely a better use of his platform at this point, because I don't know what it is. Maybe other creators are having the same issue as me, where every time they decide to talk about James Charles, they get demonetized. But literally, people are not talking about this situation enough. And maybe that's the reason. Maybe the reason is because every time they decide to say something, they get demonetized. And to be honest with you guys, I'm sorry, we're here as creators, things are, getting the topics out there and stuff are important, but at the same time, we don't want to put all this effort and all this work into videos that aren't going to get us paid when there are other topics that can get us paid. It's just the harsh truth and reality of that. And I know that some of you guys are going to be like, well, Shelby, the money shouldn't matter. I'm sorry. If you're it does. It does. I mean, people that do this full time, that's their job. They don't make videos not to get paid for them. You know what I'm saying? So if other people are having the same issues as I am, where every time they seem to bring up this stuff that happened with James Charles, they get demonetized, then maybe that's the reason it's not being talked about enough, and maybe that's the reason there's not as much light on it. For somebody like Ethan Klein, who has several sponsors per podcast that he puts out, I think that choosing to discuss this kind of hard-hitting topics with James and all of that stuff, I think that's a good use of his platform and a way better use of his time than talking about Trisha Paytas or Trisha Paytas or whatever you want to call her, I mean, the thing with Trisha is Trisha is never going to stop. Trisha brings the drama, she brings the views, she really does. And that's not going to die die down. I think it'd be better for his mental health also to talk about somebody else as well. So moving on, he also referenced in the second clip that I played you, a conversation he was having with somebody that worked at TikTok, I believe, and they were saying, or somebody who knew a lot about TikTok, who was saying that, giving like their kind of ideas as to why he was getting blocked for 24 hours, whatever. TikTok is so weird and iffy about when and how they block people. So my friend Justice Taylor, he's Justice Taylor Beauty on TikTok. You guys might know him. He's friends with me and Rich. He has been killing it on TikTok. So go over there and follow Justice Taylor Beauty on TikTok if you're not already. And by the way, while you're there, if you're not following me, follow me on TikTok, Beauty by Shelby. I have been very active on TikTok lately, and I'm really I'm into it, you guys. I have phases where I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it, and and then I'm like, oh no, I'm super into it. And I think that it's just honestly a good way to kind of further like build my brand, to be on TikTok as well. So I'm doing TikToks right now. The thing is, my TikToks are not like the drama stuff like that. So if you want to see like a different side of me, just like my TikToks are some of them are like makeup related, like the little makeup transitions and stuff, but a lot of times I'll just do like silly, fun, relatable TikToks. And so if you're into that kind of thing, those are my favorite TikToks, like the little relatable ones where it's like funny little quotes and stuff, or like funny little things. I love those and I live for those, and those are the kind of ones I really enjoy recreating. So check me out on TikTok at Beauty by Shelby, and also check out Justice Taylor Beauty. We love him so much. But anyway, what I was saying was he literally gets blocked from Twitter or TikTok for literally the stupidest stuff. So, and it's really frustrating. TikTok needs to come up with a better system as to how they choose to block your account or suspend your account for a certain amount of time. Okay, here's a perfect example of that. Last night, we were at a bar for Justice. He was performing in a drag show last night. And so Justice was having his partner film the show from his TikTok on live so his fans could see the show, and Rich was also on his TikTok live streaming the show. Both of their accounts got 24-hour banned on TikTok for filming that show, and it was because I guess some of the drag queens were saying some things that might have been a little bit PG-13, rated R, kind of like comments and stuff. And then I'm not sure who reported it or how they reported it or whatever, or how it happened, if they have like people out there watching and stuff. I really don't know. But both of their accounts on TikTok got like 24-hour like muted, or like whatever, where they can't post anything. And I thought that was really annoying, because it literally was just like, I mean, people wanted to see Justice perform. So I'm saying that to say this: TikTok has a really weird way of blocking you for a while based on like how their terms of service and stuff. And I think they need to go back through and have a better checking system as to what makes somebody actually get their post removed or to be banned for 24 hours or whatever the case may be. Because it seems to me like they're a little bit like block crazy or ban crazy or like mute crazy or whatever you want to call it on TikTok these days. Addison Rae got kicked off. I mean, people are just getting silenced and taken off there like crazy these days, and I think they need to go back through and reevaluate how they do that, because if they don't, people are going to start losing interest in the app, literally. Because when that happens to you as a creator, you get frustrated. You're like, are you kidding me right now? And you just get so frustrated. So I can understand where Ethan's coming from when he had his TikTok removed, that he literally did nothing wrong in, you know what I'm saying? And same with Justice and anybody else who's in that situation. I understand where they're coming from. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about all of this drama in the comment section down below. What do you think about Ethan coming after James Charles and kind of calling out James Charles and anybody who decides to collaborate with James? What do you think about that? What do you think about Ethan calling out the James Charles stan for reporting him to get his stuff removed, or the Trisha Paytas stans, reporting him to get his stuff removed? Let me know what you think about all that stuff in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear from you. And that's going to be it for today's video, you guys. If you did enjoy it, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below. Don't forget to ring the bell so you're notified of all my future videos when when they do post. Remember that all Shelby bells ring the bell, and you can follow me on all my social media at Beauty by ShelbyE. That's ShelBye, all at Beauty by Shelby, and I'll leave that right up there on the screen for you so you can see it. If you're enjoying the Beauty by Shelby vibes and want to see more, then YouTube should be suggesting a couple videos down below for you to choose from, so I would love it if you did that. But if you're just here to catch up on the latest with this Ethan Klein drama and the war he has started with James Charles, honey, totally cool too. Appreciate your view. Love you so. Thank you so much for watching today's video, you guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.